Oh, la la, let's go. And our last game for today, we'll be discussing the game of Asaph, one of our bright students, also advanced beginner. So let's see what happened in this game. It will be quite good for beginners and also for players who are starting on chess to see how this game will be going. Because you'll understand that Asaph understands the concept of the game. Okay? Development, controlling the center, capturing, and just basic game. But now the problem comes when multiple ideas are required, whereby you need to protect your pieces. You need not to take your piece here because it will be attacked. You don't need to take this piece, or don't need to take this pawn because that pawn is protected. Now that is quite a little advanced for advanced beginners, and that's why we are here today, to ensure that we break down and we minimize this problem. And so let's start over and see what happened in this game of Asaph. And Asaph started with e4, the king's opening. So in this variation, you can branch in different variation based on what black will be playing. So example, we can have the c6. This is known as the Caro-Kann, followed by d5 after e4. You can also have the French. So the French will be playing e6, now followed by d5. You can also have the Sicilian. You decide to push this. So most of the time, it is the black player to decide which opening is comfortable with, so that he can start playing with it. Also, we can have the modern defense by playing g6 and something of the sort. So let's dive in and see what black played. And black went for e5. Now, e5, most of it, here we can have the Ruy Lopez, we can have the Ruy Lopez. Okay, that can also have the Italian game in this position. You can also have the two knights variation and some center games. Actually, the e4, e5 is quite exciting games because it has a lot of potentials in tactics. It is so good to watch intermediate players and also advanced and also beginners playing e4, e5, because you'll be so happy. You'll see the beauty of chess in it. Now, let's see. And he went for knight f3. Now, knight f3 is putting pressure to the pawn on e5. Most people here, we can have the knight c6. So knight c6 can allow either the Italian game or the Ruy Lopez. Okay? Also, you can delay that and then you play a move like this. Also, you can decide not to go into deeper theory and decide to play knight here, move to the Gioco piano, and such kind of openings. So let's see what happened. Hey, surprise, my lord. He went for h5. Now, I don't know what to say, but now, this is how beginners play. h5. You forget the rules that you need to control the center, you need to develop your pieces, then you have started pushing your pawns before even developing your pieces. So prioritize developing your pieces. We said that, remember this, if you push your pawn, they will never go back. And if your pawn is far away, it will be too difficult for you to defend them, and they are vulnerable to attack. So you always need your pawns to be closer to you, okay, so that they can move as an army. Now, in the future, this pawn will be a liability to the opponent position. Why? If the opponent decides to castle now on the king side, Now, can you imagine if this king now will be here, standing on this square, telling himself, okay, I've castled. Now, what happens? The white will be able to infiltrate the game in this file. So it will be too difficult for black to hold in this position. So I think, and this is what it takes. So instead of pushing these pawns, develop your pieces towards the center, okay, and maximize the potential of your pieces. That is how you'll defeat your opponent, okay, but not pushing the pawns. So that's an inaccuracy from the black side. And Asaph played bishop d3. Okay, now this is the mind that we need to get rid of. Bishop d3 is not working. Why? Because why did you bring your bishop here? You know, that is the first question that you ask yourself as a chess player. Why did I do this? By bringing your bishop here, you are not, this bishop is not helping at all because you are not protecting this pawn. This pawn is not under any attack. Okay, this pawn in itself, it is safe. Unless this knight was here, then you could have considered to play that move. So that move is a useless move because in simple terms, it does not have an objective, an aim of it. So, and also here is the problem with that move. Look, by playing bishop t3, look what happens. Now, the pawn on d2, this pawn, you will never be able to push it forward because the bishop is preventing the pawn to be pushed forward. And now your bishop can never develop. It will be too difficult for your bishop to develop unless now you play this one and you fianchetto it, which will be a wastage of time. And so, and also ideas of playing here and pushing forward, and also playing here and forking the knight and the bishop. So these are some of ideas Asaph I need you to understand. So if you develop your piece, ensure you maximize its potential. Don't play like this. So the better move at least you could have played was, you could have played your bishop here. Or you just play your bishop to e7, to e2. Okay? So that you can be able in the future to play this and open the other bishop. Now, by playing to d3, now you are dooming your other bishop. You're making your other bishop inactive. So you played there. That was quite a bad move. So, and your opponent continued developing. So in this position, the better move, it is to castle. You want to castle. Because now, some of you may think that this pawn, there is a pawn that we are seeing here. This pawn is not free. So if you capture this pawn, let's say, let me show you. If you end up capturing this pawn, now there is queen e7, and you'll be attacking your knight. You cannot defend because there is d6, and you'll be forced to go back. Now we can be able to take and play here and take, and now he can be able to play a move like that. And black will be better. So instead of all that theory, you castled. That was quite a fantastic move. Now capturing the pawn is possible now from this position. So the better move for black here would be either to play here, you develop the knight, or you bring your bishop to protect this pawn. Or also you remove your queen. So let's see which move he played. He played d5. D5 is quite critical. Why? So the idea is if you capture, now I can be able to play this move. So let's see what happened. Now you went forward and captured the pawn. Now look at this position. Look at this position. This is quite fantastic and fascinating play. You captured. he played there. Now that is quite a bad move because now you can be able to capture. After bishop capture, now you can give a check. But sometimes it's not good to play that way. Why? Because your opponent can decide even to capture with this. So the idea is this. This is how you'll be checkmated as white. If you ever decide to capture, he can be able to capture this. Understood? And now queen here. And this push, it will distract white. Because there's this bishop that is pinning this pawn towards the king. So it will be difficult for you to remove your king from this line and you will end up being checkmated. Okay. Also, look also, let's say you make just a random move like here. Also this yeah, you can also play a move like this. No. You can also retreat. Yeah. So let's say you make a random move like this. Now a move like sacking is quite possible. And once you play there, there's this move. So the only move you have is to play there, then this push, then you can decide to play here, which will force this move. And once you play somewhere like, let's say here, then that will be mate. No, it won't be a mate, but play such kind of things. Okay, so yeah, then you can also decide to play your bishop here, then attack everything. So Asaph, sometimes you need to understand something important here. And Asaph went bad here. He decided now. He played queen g3. Now this is quite good because at least it's better you have a plan, you know. It's not a good move, but you have an idea of what you want to do. You want to checkmate your opponent. This is the idea. You want to use your queen as a leverage and win. But the problem with that, you forgot that your knight is hanging. Now your knight is vulnerable to attack. That is the problem that you did. So let's see what happened. And the opponent captured. And in this position, I would have preferred you play a move like rook here. What rook e1 does is quite simple. Now, if this move is ever played, you can play a move like here and give some checks. And at least we hope for the better. We hope for the best. So once there was capture, and there we go. There we go. And this is what you need to understand, you know, the mentality. So Asaph alikuwa amesha register in his mind that, okay, this is what I will do. I will bring my queen to f3, and then I will play here and checkmate my opponent. So even he didn't consider now, after the knight is being taken, there will be no piece that will be defending this queen at f7. And so what did he do? He continued with his plan. He continued, and that is when he lost the queen. Now this is totally losing. It's a matter of time. So he went for f5. Then after that move also that loses the knight, the rook. Then the rook was captured, he captured, and after that, two moves here. Now this is totally losing, and it's just a matter of time. There we go. At least he fought a good fight. There we go. So many hanging pieces, and then it was at this moment that he decided that I've had enough. Let me call it a day. So, guys, I know I'm quite tired for now. I think it's around 2:30. Yeah, 2:30 a.m. So I need to do some rest. Even you can hear my voice is fading away. I'm trying my best to be awake for now. But hope I'm praying for the best for you guys. We'll meet tomorrow. So we'll talk more on the table in the game. So we'll be analyzing your games, which will be better. And we'll see how things will go. So keep safe, guys. Continue playing a lot of games. I'm so happy. Asaph, you are able to play more than, I think, more than 15 games for today. That is quite a good spirit. And mm, also, Austin, you played 12 games. So I said that for you to improve in chess, you need to play a lot of games. Then coaching and other things will come later, after you've played a lot of games, because we said that we need the pattern recognition thing. Okay, so have a great day and have a great night, not even a day, have a great night.